Tracy. Hi, Dee. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Alison. Just had a panic. Hi, Lisa. I realised that I hadn't actually got a camera because it still wasn't unpacked from Saturday, which is good. And I still got my older mat, which is my nice new mat that you bought me that I've wrecked.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, messy mat. Never mind. Hi, Candice. Hi, Lorraine. So, yeah, not doing very well really tonight, am I? Do you know, it feels like forever since we did a class. It was only last week. Why does it feel like so long ago? It's really weird, isn't it?
Yep.
Hi, Elaine. Right, okay, so I'm not with it. It's got to be it.
Say hello
Honest.
to Carol and Margaret on YouTube, and I bag them.
Hi, Carol and Margaret, and I bag them. That's a great name. It is. Yeah, I'm just not with it at the moment. I really genuinely don't know what's the matter. I haven't been the same since he had me flu jab. Flu jab always gets me. Don't know why. It just does. So, yeah, not quite with it. I was late, Linda. Don't you worry. So I apologise profusely. In fact, I am so not with it that I'm going to do something unheard of. And next week, I think I'm going to take 2 days off. I'm going to pick 2 days. And I'm going to turn my phone off. And I'm going to stay in bed. And that is, right, you've known me for long enough. That's not like me. And the fact that I want to do that means something's not right somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, somebody keeps ringing me from Stoke-on-Trent. They're ringing again now, and I don't know who it is.
Answer it.
I can't. Not right now.
Well, I mean, answer it when it rings. That's what you usually do.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. No. Hi, Sue. Hi, Margaret. Yeah. So, I'm going to take. I don't know which 2 days I'm going to take off because I've got a lot to do at the moment. So I'm going to take 2 days off next week. And I'm just going to switch everything off and go to sleep, which is maybe. I probably won't.
And your phone won't be turned on.
And my phone won't be yet. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm not going to do it. Anyway, right. Lots of good and happy news. I have put all of next year's face-to-face classes and retreats on the website. And you can download the booking forms and have a look at them, and that'll tell you prices, what we're going to do, a rough itinerary, what you're getting for your money, because we all need to take care at the moment, when and where these things are. So if you want to come along to anything, then just let me know. We're doing a few more than usual next year, not retreats. We're doing the same number. But we're doing a few more day retreats because I really enjoy those. And it means that we can do it at a weekend rather than in the week, which I think is we had such a good time last Saturday. It was absolutely nuts. It was so much fun.
Nice food as well.
There will be. I have actually engaged the same caterer for next year. So what I thought we'd do is in February, I thought, well, February we're coming up to spring, end of the winter. So I thought we'd do something, like nature related or woodland related, something like that. There will be another option as well if that's not your thing. And then in April, I thought we'd do something for these poor boys that seem to be left out of stuff. So we'll do something for the boys, but there will be, what I'm thinking at the moment is that there's going to be like 3 options for papers. So there'll be something for younger lads, there'll be something for the grown-up boys in our life, and then something completely different, because I don't want to leave people out. Then in June we're going to have 2 days, not residential, but 2 days. There are hotels very close by, which is good news.
Hello, Jen.
Hi, Jen. And we're going to do something that will take us through the summer. So a book that we can put our summer memories in. So that's going to have, I think, lots of like little places where you can, stick stuff. In fact, I'm thinking I might enroll the help of my of Santa's Little Helper and maybe a box. I don't know. And then in October, I think we'll do another Halloween session as well, because that's fun. And no doubt there'll be a Christmas option in there as well. So yeah, lots to look forward to. I've put information about the 2 US retreats as well in there, so that you know who to contact for information about those. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's it, because I know for a fact that I've been asked to do some other bits and pieces for people, some classes, so they'll be coming up as well. So that's just a start. That's just where we're starting from. Hi Mary. So I will say that I put those up today, and I've had an amazing response. Thank you so much, everybody. So if you do want to you know, come along, at least let me know, so I can put you on the list, so that you don't miss out. So that's really exciting. So thank you very much for that. I think I'm just trying to think what else we've got. Our Christmas retreat still to come at the end of this month, which will be exciting. Actually, I need to enroll Ellie in for a class. Diana, I've made the group for the Ohio retreat, so I'll add you into that in a minute. So if you're coming along to the Ohio retreat, we've just set up the group so that you can come and have a chat and you know, find out any information you need for that. So that's good. And I know that Susan's done one for Atlanta, so that's all good. So I think we're getting there.
Lorraine says, can I request a retreat in June 24, please?
You can, for any specific reason.
And any specific place? Yes,
any specific place, time, and what for. That sounds very interesting. So I'm sure we can arrange something. So yes. So lots of exciting things happening. Yes, lots of exciting things happening. Posting up to date. I was too late down to the post office, I think, for most of the stuff to go out today, so it'll probably be out first thing in the morning. So I'm up to date with all of that, so that's all good. I think, what else do I have to tell you? I think that's it. No, there was something else that just crossed my mind. Oh, I think there's still an offer on Udemy. If you've got a scan and cut, I teamed up, well, actually, lovely John Bloodsworth asked me if I would team up with him, and I'd design a book and he'd make it work on the scan and cut. And I have to say, this is that man is amazing. There is no doubt his skills are out of this world, because I can work my scan and cut basically, but I can't go much further than that. So I made a book not using my scan and cut, and I sent it to him, and this is what he made. Well, I mean, this is my version, but he made, this is all cut out on the scan and cut. So you know, it's just, he's amazing. He's amazing is all I'm going to say. But I think there's an offer on at the moment, so if you want to you know, learn how to, you know, to make this on your scan and cut, then there is an offer at the moment. And if you go onto my main business page, and I think in this group as well, there is some information there about how you can go about linking into that for a discount. So that was so much fun to make. So if you have got a scan and cut, I thoroughly recommend that, because John is an amazing teacher. He taught me everything I know with a scan and cut. So definitely 100%. 60th birthday and Ellie's 30th. All right. Okay. We can do something. Right. Okay. So I think that's it. Probably isn't. I'll think of something else. Oh, Advent calendars. Hopefully they'll be out early next week. I've just got to collate them. But when you see them, I will take a picture actually of the finished one. But when you, I don't know why I didn't think this through. No, Candice, I've put it back a bit. I haven't had chance to well, I've kind of half made the book. I just haven't finished it. So no, I'm put it back. I think it's to the 20th, something like that. I have changed it on the, I can't remember. I have changed it on the event.
Yeah, on
I think it's the 20th. Yeah.
2 weeks Sunday.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, this one. So what we've done is we've done this page last week with these flaps and the photo mats. But what we're going to do this week is we're going to do these 2 pages. Now, this is a nice little waterfall, nice and easy. Same on both sides. We have a particularly good picture tonight.
Yes.
Very impressed.
I still haven't turned the autofocus off.
No, I know. And this is a flap, but it's not a flap because I wanted to use these papers. They're so lovely. It's actually their pull-outs. All right. So yeah. So these are pull-out flaps because I just wanted to use. I wanted big pockets for these gorgeous papers. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do these two pages. So if you grab your, oh man, I don't even know if I've got any card.
At all?
No. Well, I haven't unpacked yet. I've been doing other stuff. I'll find some. Right. So trimmer, cardstock.
Somewhere.
Here's one I made earlier. I've actually kept it together. I haven't decorated what I should have decorated, but I have actually got everything kept together, which is a miracle. So what did we do last week? Oh, I found that corner that I wanted, the one that I lost.
Yes, it was on the floor.
Yeah, it was on the floor. Where is it?
I don't know, you put it in there.
It's not that one. Not that one. There it is. Oh, I better glue this before I lose it. Because if you remember, I stupidly cut the wrong bits off.
Use it or lose it.
So let me just do that before. You'll never know. See, you can't tell that I stupidly cut the wrong bit off. So yeah, I haven't done what I was meant to do last week. So I'm going to work on the back of that one and this new one. Right. Okay, so I also haven't done my cutting guide, so I'm going to have to rely on Mark telling me what's what, although I can probably work it out. I remember it was 6.5. Was it 5.5 by 6.5? Right, so I'm going to cut 2. Oh no, that's another book. I've got 4 books on the go at the moment because this is, generally speaking, surprisingly, my quieter time of year. So I've got 4 books on the go, trying to get ahead for next year, and needless to say, it's not working. Anyway, never mind. Right, okay, so what did I say? 6.5 by 4.5, 5.5.
Yeah.
So I want you to cut 2 at 6.5 by 5.5 inches. And these are the big pockets that I've decorated with those lovely papers, the big images, okay? So we'll score those in a moment. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut the flap that pulls out, and I remember it's 11 3/4, which if you're using a UK sized piece of A4 is already 11 3/4 inches, and I think, is it 3 3/4? 4 1/4. So I need you to cut. Now this is clever, this is, and I must have had a moment of genius. It doesn't happen often, but oh no, it's not going to work because this is 8 1/4 across, isn't it? Oh no, it wasn't a moment of genius at all. So I want you to cut. No, I thought I'd get 2 out of 1, but I can't. 4 1/4. It's not going to work, is it? No, not a moment of genius. No wonder I didn't remember it. So I'm going to cut at 4 1/4, and this is 11 3/4 already. Okay, so I want 2 of those. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 by 11 3/4. So if you are not using UK A4, you'll probably need to use a 12 by 12 sheet for that. So that is 4 1/4 by 11 3/4, and we want 2 of those. Then we're going to cut the waterfall pieces that go on top, and we need 6 of them, and I cannot remember the size.
3 3/4 by 4 1/4.
Okay, so these are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And we need 6. 1, 2. So 3 3/4.
Say hello to Andrea on YouTube.
Who, sorry?
Andrea.
Oh, hi, Andrea. By, what am I doing? 3 3/4 by 4 1/4.
It is.
Well, that would make sense, actually, because it's going to be square when we make the waterfall, isn't it, then?
Okay.
Yeah. So we want 6 of those.
So choppy.
So 6 at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, right. So now I'm going to get my scoreboard, and I'm going to get my, oh yes, I've got it. Oh, that's a miracle. And I'm going to start off with the one that we cut first. Now, the one that we cut first, if you will remember, it was 5 1/2 by 6 1/2 inches. And we're going to score on the 5 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch.
Yep.
And at 5 inches.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
And then we're going to score on the 6 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch. So what we've got here is a simple pocket with 3 intersecting score lines, and that is the same on both. So we're going to score on the 5 1/2 inch side, so that means put your 5 1/2 inch piece at the top. We're going to score at 1/2 inch, and we're going to score at 5 inches. And then we're going to turn it round, so we're now scoring on the 6 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then we've got these 2 long pieces, and are we scoring at 5 1/4?
On the long one.
Yeah.
5 1/4 on the 11 3/4
yeah.
side.
So I'm working on the 11 3/4 inch side, so that means 11 3/4 inches at the top, and I'm going to score at 5 1/4. Now this is not halfway. Okay, I do know that. It was just easy. So I'm going to score again, same on the other one at 5 1/4 inches. When we fold that, it won't be halfway. It doesn't matter. I'm cool with that. And then we've got these 6 pieces left over, and these are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. So what we're going to do to make them square is we're going to score on the 4 1/4 inch side. So that's 4 1/4 at the top. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. And we're going to do that on all 6. So we're scoring on the 4 1/4 inch side. I've cut that wrong. And see. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. So I'm scoring on the 4 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. And this one, which I've cut square for some reason, best known to myself, I'll still score it at 4 and I'll still score it at 1/2 inch, but I'm just going to trim it down.
Celia says hi, and
hi Celia.
Catherine says hi.
Hi Catherine. Okay, right, there we go. That's right now. I'm happy with that. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off by making the big pocket, which was the bit that we cut first. And what we'll do is we'll put that on. So I'm going to work on the back of this page. This is the one that we made last week, but yes, I know I haven't decorated it yet. So that's the flap, and we've got that little anti-gravity pocket sort of thing there. And my opening at the moment here is on the left. but I'm going to turn that over. So I'm going to be working on the right with the opening on the right, and then the opposite side page. So that will have the opening on the left. Okay, so these are my openings on these are sides opposite each other. This is going to be where we attach to the book. Okay, so I'm just going to put them there because it's easiest to work, I think, with it as it's going to go in the book, because then I know what I'm doing. So I've got these two pieces here. These are just really simple but long pockets. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and I think I may partake in a little bit of kinky mitering. Yes, Dee, exactly.
I'm Lorraine.
We're very well, thank you, Catherine. How are you? Right, so kinky mitering. We're going to snip up to where that score line intersects. I'm just going to change the angle of my scissors slightly. So I've got a bit of a kink in my mitre. And I know I say this every time, but just in case it's anybody new, the reason that I do this is if you mitre straight across, sometimes you can still get a bit of a bulge where your folds overlap. And this is not a place for bulges. This is a bulge-free zone. So snip up to where the score lines intersect. Just change the angle slightly. There we go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on my score lines like that. And then I'm going to get out my boner, probably my little boner tonight, I think. I fancy a little one. And I'm going to burnish. Hey, how many people had that tremendous torrential rain today? We had huge amounts of it, didn't we? And it was when Mark was due home from work, and he was a bit late. 20 minutes late, which is unheard of. So I tidied up the front room in case the police came to tell me, you know, anything bad. But he got home fine, which was good. But it was really wet. But it was exactly the same on Monday, wasn't it? On Halloween. So nobody came trick-or-treating. So I'd made up all of these really cute little Halloween bags of sweets for the kids. And nobody turned up. So last night, I must admit, we weren't feeling up to cooking. So we had a chippy tea. For those of you outside the UK, a chippy tea is fish and chips. Except I had cheesy chips and beans. And you had a kebab, didn't you? Regardless. So it was, chips. Yeah, so it wasn't a chippy tea, but it was a chippy tea. Anyway, the lady who came and delivered it, we gave her some, didn't we? But we haven't had anybody around. So I've got these two big baskets full of sweets. So if you want to come and do some trick-or-treating round by us, I can supply you. Anyway, that's my story. Right, so let me see. I've got about 6 bottles of glue here. Probably none of them work. So what I'm going to do is this is my left-hand page. So my opening is to the right. That's there. Okay, that's there. And I'm going to pop that on there like that. So it's a really big tall pocket, and it goes almost to the top. Oh, we didn't have any thunder and lightning.
No, just torrential right hand against them.
It's really bad, wasn't it? Right.
Just seems to have gone quiet.
It has. I don't know whether it'll last.
Even the cats were a bit spooked.
Yeah, they were. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on there down to the bottom like that. Ugh, I've got glue on my fingers now.
Loogie.
Everybody's had thunder and lightning except us.
Oh, that ain't fair. Okay.
We normally get a couple. We had some kids on Saturday, but we just got back from the retreat.
So nothing was
So nothing was ready, and quite frankly, I couldn't be bothered to get up. I was knackered. So we've really missed out this year. It's really disappointing because I had my witch's hat ready and everything. Yeah. In fact, my witch's hat is now on the stairs, and I wasn't looking at, and I was waiting for it to move because I thought it was one of the cats. But it turned out to be my witch's hat. Anyway.
This is round out and a total of 7 kids.
More than we've had, but nobody's so sad.
I don't think I could be.
Right, okay, so I'm going to put this one on the opposite side, and this is going to have the opening to the left because these are obviously mirror images of each other. Okay, so you've got these nice big spaces here, which you could put a photo on if you wanted, or you could just use some gorgeous paper and showcase that. It's entirely up to you. So those are the pages, so we just need to decorate those, but we need to make the flaps to go inside. So what we've got are these 2 pieces. So I'm going to fold on there like that. That's not right. That's absolutely not right. What have I done? 5 1/4. That can't be right.
Yeah, 5 1/4 is what you put.
That's absolutely not right.
Uh-oh.
5 3/4.
Oh, I'm going to change that now.
Right, so I'll just rescore that at 5 3/4. Luckily, you won't see it when you put your pattern paper on. So let's score at 5 3/4. Okay, and now let's fold. That's better. There's just a little difference. There we go.
So I'm scoring on the 11 3/4 side at 5
5 3/4, yeah. Oh, it's ages since I've made a mistake on the cutting guide. It's like that thing in The Simpsons, you know, at the beginning, where they, however many days they've had since an accident in the nuclear power station. Yeah. Well, I need one of those, but for days that I've got the cutting guide right. Because it would have been really good apart from that. Anyway, you won't see it. If you've already done that, you won't see it when you put pattern paper over it. So the longer side, the bit that's slightly longer, that's the front. Okay. So then we've got all of these pieces, and we're just going to fold.
Andrew on YouTube says, keep them and make boxes for Christmas and fill them. That's what she did last year.
Oh, yes. That's a good idea. Actually, that is a good idea. Because they're not the sort of sweets that we'd eat, are they? Well, I don't know. There's a few things we might. Right, so I'm just burnishing on these here like this, but I can't stick these onto the front of my pulley outy flappy thing because first of all I need to put my pattern paper on. So let's have a look. This is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. Where's my paper? Oh. What did I say? 4 1/4.
I think so.
4 1/4 by 5 7/8. I never trust my rulers. They don't ever seem to measure properly.
You need them calibrated.
My rulers, I do. Let's try that. No, that needs cutting down a bit.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. That will do.
Near enough.
I need you to sort out my hack, dear.
Yeah, well, oh, we can't print any till the time.
Oh no, yeah. Right. Did I ink my edges? Can't tell. I don't think I did.
I don't really know.
Oh, I think I did. Yes, I did. I did ink my edges.
Jill says, sorry I'm late, internet issues. Are we on pages 4 and 5?
We are. They're the pulley outy waterfally pages. No anti-gravity pockets.
And Catherine says, is anyone else's screen frozen?
Mine looks all right.
I'm a bit chilly.
Oh. Okay, so I'm going to glue this onto the front of that flap, and the front is slightly longer than the back, okay?
Andrea asks on YouTube, can you use any ink to ink the edges?
Yes, I think so. There's something seems to work better as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm not a stamper, so that would be a good question for somebody like our Wendy to answer. I use my favorite kind of edge inking stuff is I love this VersaFine Claire. It's also really good for stamping, but Graphic 45 now do oh, let me just switch over here. Oh, just wrecking it. They now do a whole load of inks to match like their colors, which are absolutely brilliant for edging. Just wonderful. If I'm using a brown, I like to use a distressing, usually, you know, one of the Tim Holtz ones. And you could use oxides, but it seems like a bit of a waste in one way, because I like to use those for things like, you know, a bit of mixed media or something. But if that's what you've got, that's what you've got. But I mean, the thing is, I think it depends. I don't StazOn ink, which is very good for stamping images onto like acetate and stuff where you wouldn't normally stamp. Is great for that sort of thing, but it's not brilliant for kind of inking the edges. I wouldn't say necessarily, because it does a different job. But you know, you just have to find a pad that you really like. I mean, Memento is really popular. Not one that I use a lot of, because I've just got used to using my black. I use, you know, usually the VersaFine or the Graphic 45, which I've now got and love. But if it's brown, it tends to be Tim Holtz Distress ink. And then the oxides I'd use for something like, you know, mixed media or blending, I guess. But I think it's a very personal thing. It's like, you know, a boner. Very personal.
Lynn says hello.
Hi, Lynn.
Loving the book.
But there's there's people with far more experience than I who there may be some technical reasons why you would choose one sort of ink over another. I don't know. So, sorry, just reading what Diana had put. Yeah, I'm using completely different papers this time. Just because I'm awkward. So now I've decorated those up. Now I can put my waterfall papers on. Waterfall kind of like bits on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue and I'm just going to attach it to that flap there like that. Okay. And I'm going to put this flap on here. So this is the top. This is the fold. Okay. This is the fold here. And I'm going to put it, I'm not going to start at the top because I want to be able to see a bit of my paper, but I'm going to kind of put it in the middle.
In the middle?
So that I've got, you know, kind of like an equidistant, I ain't measuring it, I'm eyeballing it. Like that, okay? Easy. Then, if I lift that up, I'm going to use this line here to guide my next one. Oh, sorry, Diana. No, I'm using different paper. Yeah, that's not in the Sundays one.
Oh.
But if you have a look, I don't know if I put the link up. That's another job I've got to do that I really want to do is get the mini books somewhere to find them up to date. Now I've figured out what's gone wrong with the OneDrive. I think I can sort it out.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't OneDrive 2.
Oh,
wasn't OneDrive 2. It was OneDrive 1.
Yes.
Complicated. So now I've figured out why I haven't got any space. I can get the rest of it all added up and hopefully put in things like all of the what are we missing? Colour Study Gatefold and all of those ones in properly. Right. So now I've got some glue on that flap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to butt it up to the bottom of that join there. So when I close that, I need it all to be straight. Okay, so I'm using the bottom of that as my guide. So now I've got my 2 pages in, okay? But when I close them, they're nice and straight. So now what I'm going to do is take my 3rd one, and you can probably add a 4th to this if you wanted to. It's up to you. There's space for more if you've got a lot of photos.
More.
And I'm going to add that in there like that. Pop that down. Just lie that down. Make sure that it all lines up before I glue it. Make sure it's all nice and straight. Make sure it's straight there. Just lift that up a bit.
Andrea asked again on YouTube. Sorry for all the questions. Do you use black when you use black card and brown when you use brown, or is it the pattern choice? And
that's a great question.
Whatever looks best.
Yeah, and you keep asking questions because I love questions like that. For me, and we're all different, I use black when I'm using black card.
Some are more different than others.
Unless I might have quite happily used brown on this, to be honest with you. Now, what I have never done is used a coloured ink on my paper to edge it. However, I know people that have, and it will look spectacular. My friend Leslie used a kind of a pinky purple at the retreat on the Tunnel book. And if you have a look in the Paper Scissors story, are you in the Paper Scissors story group, Andrea? Because if you have a look back there, I'm pretty certain that Leslie's posted it. And if she hasn't, I'll get her to. And she kind of used it was pinky brown, peachy sort of colour, and it was spectacular. Another person who you could take a look at for really amazing inked edges is Ruth Walton. Absolutely amazing what Ruth does with ink. Wendy Booth is another person that you could search for. So yeah, I mean, it depends. It's entirely up to you. One reason why I also like to use black is if I'm inking the edge of something that I fussy cut, if it's something that's black, a Sharpie is the obvious answer. So I just use a Sharpie pen rather than just try and, you know, getting this into awkward corners. If you use you know, a trusty Sharpie, that'll get you into all sorts of little interesting corners, and I think that's you know, that's a good one, a good tip actually to do. And I don't think he's here, but David seems to be my Sharpie supplier. I don't know, whenever I see David, I've never got a Sharpie, and he always does have. And I have two massive Sharpies downstairs that were from Karen and Alan.
Oh yes.
Yeah, this absolutely. I've never seen a Sharpie that big, so I'll have to dig that out for you because it's hilarious. So yeah, that would. I mean, I tend to. I'm just a simple girl, and I just tend to use black or brown because that's what I'm used to. But I am so keen to try out some of these graphic 45 ones. I had this in my last DT pack, so there's like this peachy pink, which I guess you could use with like the Alice papers. There's the brick red, which, you know, would work with black, you know, black and Christmas ones. What else have I got? Because I had the whole set because I thought I'm going to try it. I've never done it before. Lovely lilac.
Oh, Elaine says she has your Sharpie cap.
Oh, well, it's probably David's, if truth be told. We seem to have a communal Sharpie now. I can't believe how good that picture is. I'm so impressed. Yes, that's interesting. Look, Candice says if you've got the Tim Holtz watercolor pens, you can use those for the edges and refill them with the distress inks. Oh, that's a really good tip. Yeah, Lorraine says you can use different colors on each page for that. That's so true. That is so true. But you know, this is lovely. You know, there's natural linen and marine blue, and when you've got something like Graphic 45 who do tend to use, you know, the same color palette, then that's perfect. And because I'm not very adventurous with this, then that I'm really going to enjoy having a go at that. So yeah, I think gut feeling, whatever feels right to you, would be the answer. Hi Renee. So that's my first one done. So now I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. So I've got my pattern paper on the front there, and I'm going to pop my waterfall on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to line it up. So if I put those two together,
Hello, Renee.
Then make sure that they look like they're in the same place. Let's have a look. Well, it would be even better if it was straight. That looks good.
Not bad, not bad.
So now I'm going to do the same, and I'm going to pop that down there. Make sure it lines up, which that absolutely doesn't. There we go. Just fiddle that about a bit. Stick that down. Yep, that's nice and straight now. And then my final one. But yeah, we're really lucky that we've got some amazing stampers in the group. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start a thread when we've done this and I've changed the cutting guide. I'll start a thread in the group, and what I'll do is I'll ask people to post pictures of their you know, their blending, ink edging, blending stuff, because there has been some absolutely spectacular work, and it's amazing what a difference it makes to the look of a project. It's just phenomenal, and there's people who are far braver than me, and I should really take the plunge because it just looks so good. So there we go. That is our page, whatever this is, 4 and 5, did we decide? And that is just going to slip into there like that. So it looks just like another page. So what I've done to decorate is I've taken some more of these frames. I've laid them up. We'll talk about this at the end, actually, if you want to, you know, if you want to talk about how to layer these up. And then I've just put pattern paper on one side of my waterfall, and then I've just put white card in place of a photograph. But if you're using this for photos, then you can put photos on every page. There's nothing stopping you doing that at all. And then what I've done is I've just cut some little strips of pattern paper to go over those bits there, those bits that were the flaps, because I just think that looks really nice. I just like the way that finishes off. And then I've used you know, some of my favorite big image papers here. I mean, ideally I should have used another one there. I didn't really think that through, but that's how you put those pages together. I'm very intrigued. Who's making 4? Was it Linda? It's Linda, isn't it, who's making 4? So that's kind of interesting. So I shall look forward to seeing how you get on with those. I will decorate these up before next week. Now, I did say that I'd be back in crafting together with all brands this week. It's not going to happen. So what I've done is I'm putting it back until December. So hopefully we'll have a new project to start on a Thursday in December. I'm just going to make excuses, but we've just been having a bit of a busy time with Dad, unexpectedly. Which has kind of thrown things back a bit. So huge apologies to everybody, because it's just meant that I haven't got on as fast with things as I'd hoped to. But it's all good now. But yeah.
Very well.
Yeah. So there we go. So unfortunately not 6x6 Sunday this Sunday. But if anybody wants to come along, we have got crop on Saturday in Dunstan, which will be loads of fun. If you're waiting for an invoice from me for your advent calendar, that should be going out towards the end of the week. Hopefully I'll get those posted Monday, Tuesday. So those will be out on the way, so you've got plenty of time. Now, there seems to be some confusion over this advent calendar. It's not an advent calendar to make. We've made it for you. So it's lots of little packages for you to open every day from the 1st of December, and we've made ours a little differently because we've included a package on Christmas Day as well. So it's an advent calendar. It's not an advent calendar to make, it's one to open. So yeah, that's what it is. It is all sold out, but you know, next year I'm going to employ lots of little children to make it up, because I am sure as heck not doing it again. But it was so much fun. Yes, Jill, there are, but I was just saying earlier that now I've figured out what's wrong with the OneDrive, I should be able to get everything back up and running, and the mini book and where to find them thing all sorted out. So that's another job for this week. So I don't think they're around this very second, but they will be soon, is what would be the answer. Brilliant. All right then, guys, so thank you very much for joining us this evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Shall look forward to that. But if you've got any problems, just give us a shout. We're about, I think that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right then, lots of love to everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you really soon. Bye.
Oh.